Arsenal have just punched up another team, one called West Ham this time, not Sporting Lisbon, not Nottingham Forest. The one's literally just down the road called West Ham, as I just mentioned. But yeah, 5-2. You could say Arsenal went a little bit easier, and then when the second half, I think Arteta proved that. But another relentless display by Arsenal. You know, we can sit here, we could say they had two penalties, a set piece goal, however you want to look at it. But so did West Ham. When you deep it, one of their goals is actually sublime. Let's be fair. But we're here to break down the game, anyways. And pretty much when we say break down the game, let's break down the half because that's all the football really was that one half. Smash the likes, subscribe if you're new, and we'll get straight down into it without a shadow of a doubt. This is what I came up with, and as you can see, there's a lot of points that pretty much summed up the first half, and this is what I've got. In the first and foremost, let's just talk about the first goal, set the tone of the game pretty much early. I can't even remember what minute it was, but was it like sixth? Yeah, something along them lines. But Gabriel, the most consistent scoring defender on the planet, unless you lot can tell me otherwise. This guy's going from strength to strength, and I think it goes a little bit under the radar that it was only a couple seasons ago that this guy got called a bozo by myself. He had that bozo gene in him, a little bit like Kanate. Looks like he's got that out of his system. Gabriel's at prime age, and he keeps scoring these goals as well. And I thought for that header, I thought, he had to kind of work for that. If you see his starting position and whatnot, he judged the flight of the ball from Saka. And I think that deserves a little bit of props because he can snuff out these sort of chances and set the tone for Arsenal if they need the goals or whenever they need him to pop up in certain areas. He's just a danger man. Someone I'm gonna liken that to is actually Thomas Vermaelen. If anyone is old enough to remember Thomas Vermaelen, he used to do the exact same thing. He's a goal scoring defender, not just with his head, obviously, but he also used to score with his feet. And he wasn't even near the size of Gabriel. This guy's a unit. He's one of the best defenders in the world at the moment. And if someone said to put a price on his head, you can imagine that someone like Juve, what did they come in with a bid of something like 50 million? What a stupid decision if someone sanctioned that, and this is why Arsenal fans rank him so highly. And you know what? I'm very jealous that, Arsenal have got such a presence in the box, a presence in the area. And, it is a tool when you have to utilize these tools. If my club could get anywhere near that, then I'd be delighted. I think anyone would be delighted. I think Chelsea were the last club to be as dominant as they were in the box, and I think Liverpool as well. And I think Liverpool are still dominating the area. Like, Konate gets a couple headers here and there. Look at the AC Milan game, Van Dijk even. So, it's a big plus for Arsenal. And I'm going to talk about what I'm so jealous of, and it's just that man there. Actually, there's two of them we'll talk about. Second and third point. Erdegaard is just the best playmaker in the Premier League right now. Name me another one. Like, don't get me wrong. I think McAllister's a beast. He's one of them players. He's a guilty pleasure, I suppose, of watching, even though he's plays for my rivals. But if we're talking about playmaking in the final third, or even in the second phase of the game, however you want to label it, he's just mint. This is why I don't ever get onto this guy. He is a magician. West Ham or not, Sporting or not, this guy just sees the game in a different light, and it's so beautiful to see this sort of player, this David Silva kind of players, these ones that have got low center gravity. They're not, whether you want to play them 10 or 8, they can do both roles. It's just them sort of players there. James Madison's of the world. Oh, what a delight to witness. Even though it's not exactly going the way I want it because of rivals. If you ask me, who do you want to win? I want West Ham to win. Or even if it's Liverpool versus who, you see these McAllisters and stuff. These sort of players have been missing from the game for a little while, in my opinion, and we need more of them. And obviously, trying to find another Erdegaard. He's so young, captain, fantastic at the moment for Arsenal's comeback. It's like they've just come back from Dubai, and they're rejuvenated, and they're really willing to go and be relentless and just absolutely go for the kill, put teams to the sword at the moment. And of course, they play my team next. At the Emirates as well, so it's going to be a tough battle. I'm not backing down though. He's insane, and you lot are so lucky to have such a blessing. Honestly, do you know what I mean? It's just, and then you got the other one that goes with it. Tweedle, what they call it, Tweedledum, Tweedledee. If you don't have one, you need the other. Obviously, Saka, the one that gets in the end of things. And you know what? makes me think that this team is playing for one another. But Saka is now on 10 Premier League assists for the season. Again, I think that's the fourth consistent season where he's registered 10 assists. And I think now he's got 18 in 18, which is not spoken about enough. And if you don't think that's world-class numbers, then you lot need a little bit of a shake. And if you don't believe he isn't world-class in general at this moment of time, one of the better right wingers in the world, again, give yourself a wobble. This kid, he's not, we can't even call him a kid anymore. He's grown up now. He's matured. This is him. He's already there. He could potentially beat the assist record of 20 in a season. I believe that's held by Henry and KDB. I'm not too sure if that's right or wrong, which ones might have the lead on that, but he is on course to doing so. He's amazing. Deserves a lot of flowers. Got that, obviously, that beautiful left foot for when he does want to whip the ball in for like a Gabriel header. Or look what he did for Trossard. If you lot saw Trossard's face, right, when he scored that goal, he was over the moon. He's been getting a lot of critiques, you could say. Martinelli, Hims, I don't think Arteta's decided who's going to be his starting left winger, but he was overjoyed to get that goal. And obviously, Saka didn't need to pass it across. He could have probably buried that, but he decided not to be greedy. And the team is playing as a team. I think Arsenal will be a little bit let down, though, that they did concede 2 goals in a space of minutes, basically. And, he could have went even further, could have been 4-3. But then, obviously, the penalty, Fabianski decided he wanted to Superman and punch up Gabriel and even tried to protest that it wasn't a punch in the head. That, mate, you tried to knock him out clean. I thought that was a Muhammad Ali straight punch jab, straight to the temple. Insane. But, yeah, I thought... first half, Arsenal, you had nothing to worry about. No bottle job sessions going on there. Obviously, you can hope as much as you need, hope as much as you want, but Arsenal just delivered, didn't they? And I think the second half kind of showed how much they took this thing out of the game. And we'll go from there as well. Another thing I noticed is Arsenal's build-up is spot on. And I don't know if they built up a little bit differently, but I'm seeing Jorginho in right-back areas. I'm seeing, Timber more central sometimes. Them two, it's weird seeing Jorginho at right back. Then you see Erdegaard come all the way back from his advanced role to help out. And sometimes you may see where Saliba could be on the right-hand side, Gabriel on the left, and then you got Jorginho and Erdegaard as the 2 central pieces to pick up the ball. And you see Declan Rice peel off to the left, and then obviously Calafiori as well is helping along them sides as well, and obviously on the flank and Timber on the other side. I feel like their build-up, West Ham tried to press, bless them. They just couldn't get close. Every time they were trying to build up from Raya, from whether it's a recycled turnover or just a goal kick. It's just that they had that perfectly. And they built up from the back to front. And I'm pretty sure you can find many, many examples of how they built up. And it looks way more balanced, in my opinion. Inverting Calafiori as well. This left back rather than the right back. I don't know what it is, but it's just more suited to his game. Going further forward, Calafiori's not there. I think there's real questions of Zinchenko again. And I know Arsenal fans are quite wary and rival fans are wary of how he defends and how good he is defensively. But when you have to bring on that sort of option, because he is better than Calafiori on the ball, much better with his passing, and then obviously getting down the flanks, he's a little bit more smoother than a Calafiori. But in the defensive, obviously, side of things, when you do want to shape up into your, I saw maybe Declan Rice filling sometimes, or Kivior when he was in a 5-3-2, 5-4-1 is a hard bank to break down. And obviously Calafiori would be more suited to that. So yeah, I thought, that left back, I'm going to call it the Cucurella role, the Fabian Delph kind of role at the moment. It suits Arsenal's balance at the moment. Timber, again, flying high, saucy baller. And you can't tell me any different that this guy's just hit the ground running. Yeah, I don't think he's put in more than 3-4 bad performances or average performances for Arsenal of late. Unless you lot can tell me. I do watch pretty much all the Arsenal games. Otherwise, how would I be able to do this? But yeah, and then I see this as well. Arteta's willing to rotate key players. And that was the most important thing, obviously. Tomorrow's Sunday. You got 4 days rest before the Emirates. It was a 5:30 game. You could call it a pressured game to add pressure to the Man City and Liverpool as well. Put yourself in second position. Of course, Chelsea plays tomorrow as well. You obviously, again, goal difference matters. So catching up on a lot of that goal difference is very important. But more importantly, scoring the 3 points in that notion. But we rotated 5 players. If I'm correct, Kivior came on. Wanyeri got more minutes as well. Sterling, we'll talk about that in a second. And then obviously a couple other players did come on. I just can't remember at this moment of time. Jesus and another. But regardless of that, if I think Arteta deserves his game management flowers as much as people don't want to agree with it. This match here in particular, I think he done it really well, and he brought them on within good time. And Wanyeri getting more minutes is just the key thing for me at the moment. But the last one I will say, and he messed up and squabbled right at the very end. He has to be finishing that chance. Is Raheem Sterling. Send him back to Chelsea. Honestly, if Arsenal's got any balls about them and are serious about this title, excuse me, and they want to go and win it, I think in January, I would cut his loan short. I would send him back to Chelsea. I'll terminate that loan. I just think he's useless. I'd rather see Wanyeri on the right-hand side come on for Saka. Even though you've been using him for Erdegaard, I'd rather see him there. I think he's got better delivery. I think he's got a better finish. And this is just like one of them things where you can appreciate Sterling for all he's done in the Prem, like as a player, but I think this is his time is coming to an end. And I don't think he's really added much value to Arsenal squad at the moment. I don't think he's useful. He's getting pity minutes. And don't get me wrong, not many players are going to start over Saka or get in the way of that. But even in cup games, he's just not a threat. Other than Preston, is that his level? Really? I just think he's a waste of space. Is there someone in academy? Can someone else play there? Can you go and buy someone? I don't know. It's not really a key position I would say that Arsenal need to focus on, but I don't think there's many key positions that Arsenal do need to focus on in January. But I just think personally, sorry, but if it's the only negative I can find out of that game is that he's pretty useless. But you managed the game well at the end. Saka got off. He had that little scare with his ankle. It might have twisted it. I think he's all right. The guy, you can't break Saka, unfortunately. Like I say, unfortunately, but fortunately, obviously for you lot. But you just can't do it. As much as you want to try as an opposition or a rival of the opposite field, if you try and break down Saka in terms of stamp on his ankles, on his toes, I'm not even joking. He'd probably get shot by a sniper and he'd still get back up. That guy is just robust as shit. Simple as that. But other than that, smash the likes, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We're back for the next game, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be with this team behind me and Man United and doing one of those. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I'll be real. But I'm up for the game. I'm up for the task. I'm up for those 3 points.